What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Parker's POV, where today we'll be looking at the all-new 2026 Forest River IBEX. This is the 16MBJ, and it's the Black Canyon edition. So it's going to have some heavy-duty off-road suspension, upgraded solar. The list goes on. We'll get into that here in a little bit, so stay tuned. All right, guys. So for those that are new to my channel, they'll know that I like to start on the exterior of the trailer and then work my way inside. If you can't wait and you want to see the interior, go ahead and skip forward in the video here. But let's start up front. We've got the power tongue jack. That is standard, two 20-pound propane tanks. And then we are going to have a factory mounted battery disconnect switch, and then a nice place for our batteries here with all of our wiring. Of course, you've got your 7-way, your breakaway cable for your brakes and your chains. This is a 2 5/16" ball. Of course, and then on the side of the frame here, they've given you a dog leash mount as well as a bottle opener. So pretty cool. On the sides, so on all four corners of this trailer, you're going to get these scissor jacks. They are manual, so keep that in mind. But nothing a cordless drill can't handle. And then up front, we've got this nice frameless window or windshield. Lets in a lot of natural light. We'll see more of that when we head inside. And then for those wondering, this logo does illuminate. It's hard to see during the day, but it looks pretty cool at night especially. And then this rock guard is going to cover a good portion of the front of the trailer to protect against any rocks, dents, dings, things like that. You do get a pass-through storage that goes all the way through. It is finished. I'll probably show you from the other side so the lighting's not so bad, but essentially what I mean by finished is there's not a lot of raw wood exposed in here. It just looks cleaner. And they use a one-piece linoleum flooring in these as well. Very cool. Freshwater connections here, city water connections here, and then your freshwater drain is located underneath. Coming to the back, nice off-road tires. I'll show you more of those when we hop around to the other side. Nice aluminum wheels as well. Really like the graphics they went with this year. They went away from that blue, which I wasn't a huge fan of. All your windows, by the way, are tinted as well. 30 amp connection here. We've got our black tank flush, cable satellite connection there, a little outdoor light with a motion sensor attached to it. And then underneath, we've got our dump valves just behind your axle. Well, I shouldn't say axle because this has the Black Canyon edition, which we'll read more about that here in just a second. Let's hop around to the rear. Nice Forest River branding. Full-size spare tire with a steel wheel on the back. Place to mount our, not our driver's license, our, what am I trying to say? License plate, excuse me. We've got a Lippert ladder prep up top to mount a ladder, and then it's pre-wired for a backup camera. And then this unit does come standard with a tankless water heater. So super cool to see that. 2-inch receiver on the back here. I don't know the rating offhand, but it's probably no more than a couple 100 pounds, so I probably wouldn't tow in tandem with this thing, especially without reinforcing that hitch. Coming back over to the passenger side, this is where most of the magic is. We're going to get a power, or what am I saying power? A solid step entry here. That just folds up inside your door, and it's got adjustable legs if you're on an uneven ground or surface. And then down here, let's get a better look at those wheels and tires. Super slick looking. I like the matte kind of silver coating that they put on them. And then let's look at the suspension here, because that's part of the Black Canyon edition, is this Curt independent suspension. Very cool looking. So that's just going to let this thing float down the road, especially if you're hitting those washboard roads. This thing isn't going to, it's not going to damage the trailer as much as it would if you just had a traditional solid axle with leaf springs. This thing can absorb quite a bit. Nice place to mount. Well, I guess your outdoor griddle is going to sit on this bracket here, and then a nice little prep table that just hooks onto this bracket outside. So you could flip-flop these. I don't have the griddle out right now because it's in the box, but just know that it does come with it. Behind our door, we've got our outdoor shower hookup, as well as a couple 110 outlets. Don't know why I just zoomed in so far. Give me just a second to zoom back out. There we go. All right. So let's talk about Black Canyon. So Black Canyon is going to give you a couple things. It's going to give you the beast mode suspension, which is what we just looked at. 400 watts of solar pre-mounted on the roof. I'll throw a short clip in on the roof of what that looks like. Standard is about 200 watts. So you're getting twice the solar and a 2,000 watt inverter. You're also going to get a freshwater filter and a max air roof vent cover. The vent cover is nice, allows you to open your vents even when it's raining without getting stuff inside. This trailer does feature Asdel. There's your model, the 16MBJ, Black Canyon Edition. Lots of stickers on this one. One thing I love about this floor plan is this massive window here. So that actually can open and you can pass things in and out of the camper as you please. So if somebody's cooking inside, they want to hand something to you, they can. It's like a little bar inside, kind of cool. And then you also get these outdoor marine grade speakers, which are slowly going away in a lot of trailers, sadly. A lot of the cheaper manufacturers are just including a cheap Chinese Bluetooth speaker and they're calling it a day. I like that they're still including those on this model. And then of course we've got our nice power awning that runs almost the entire length of this trailer. It does have the shock absorbers built in too, so if it gets a little windy, you're probably okay. Usually though, good rule of thumb is if it's windy, go ahead and put your awning in just to protect it. And then underneath, you do get some LED lighting here, like that tan line. Nice. Okay, that's pretty much it for the outside, guys. I know I didn't cover everything, but this is, again, just a quick look at this model. Let's go ahead and head inside. Okay, guys, so we're going to start in the back where this rear kitchen is located, just next to our front door here. A couple things to mention. You get a large farmhouse-style stainless steel sink, and then a cup washer here where you stick your cup on it. It'll spray out the inside of the cup. Pretty cool to see that in a trailer. Faucet has 2 modes. Right now it's winterized, that's why there's a bag on it, but essentially in this mode it's just going to come out like a normal faucet. If you rotate it sideways, it'll come down kind of like a little waterfall and kind of rinse stuff off with that. Of course, you're going to get blackout shades on all your windows. A little bit of storage up top here. Microwave. And let me see. Yeah, it looks like it's one of those convection oven microwaves, so it does both. I'm guessing they went with that so that you didn't have an oven mounted underneath here, which would take up all your kitchen storage. 2-burner gas stove here. You do get a custom IBEX wood, kind of butcher block style cutting board that does fill in the sink here, which is kind of nice, which will give you more counter space. You get some drawers in here. So it looks like you got 4 drawers, and then underneath, you've got a little bit of storage even under the sink. That's your water filter there, or your filtration device. Flipping around onto this wall here, we've got our awning controls, awning lights, porch lights, interior light controls. This is going to control the speakers, both the indoor and the outdoor speakers. Nice little bottle opener here, a couple of hooks to hang keys and jackets, things like that. Now let's take a look at the bathroom real quick. So, there's our thermostat on the wall next to the bathroom. As we come into the bathroom, we've got a porcelain toilet. It is a foot flush toilet, so a little bit higher end than what you're going to get in some of the cheaper models that just have plastic toilets. Nice little vanity sink here. A little bit of storage underneath the sink. Access to some of your plumbing. Very nice. Let's see if... Yep. We've got a medicine cabinet here behind our mirror. And then we've got GFCI outlets throughout. Again, this has a 2,000 watt inverter, so you'll be able to run every single one of the outlets in here off of that inverter if you'd like. Solar controller here. Looks like it's a 30 amp controller. Lighting control there. That is our water, I think it's our water heater control. Water pump. That's your water heater on off switch here. I think that's how you set the actual temperature of the water. Again, it is an on-demand system, so you'll have unlimited hot water as long as you've got water in your tank or you're hooked up somewhere. Check this out, though. This is where they're setting themselves apart a little bit. You got heated tanks on not just 1, not just 2, but actually all 3 tanks in this trailer. Pretty cool. Couple hooks up top. All right, let's take a look at the shower real quick. A little tight in here for camera work, but I'm doing my best here. So I am 6'1" and I can fit in here just fine. My head just barely pokes up into this little dome up top. Gosh, I keep zooming in. Sorry about that. But it's plenty doable. again, for being as small as this camper is. All right, now let's take a look at the rest of the coach here. So this is what you would call a couples coach. So it's really designed for 2 people. You could potentially bring somebody else and they could try to sleep on the couch here, or maybe put a mat down on the floor here. But really, this is designed for 2 people. We've got our nice recliners here, and then we've got our nice little bar to eat at here with these free-floating bar stools. We do get a little bit of a pantry or storage compartment here and up here. Our furnace is located just below it. These TV trays are pretty cool. They swivel, and you can just pop them in and out whenever you like. So if you want to sit down in the chair and maybe watch out the window there, or you've got a TV up top here as well, and that does kind of pivot and swivel around. But nicely placed. Again, blackout shades on all our windows here. Nice lights underneath here. Retail on this unit is $47,286. Of course, we're not selling it for retail. I do not have the price memorized, but I'll try to put that in the description in case you're interested in this floor plan. All right, now take a look at this giant window here. So that'll open right up. Again, this is where you can pass things in and out of the trailer. Notice it had that nice blackout screen on it, and then it's also got a built-in bug screen. Very nice. And it is massive for how small this trailer is. Same thing with all these other windows. These are very large windows all the way around this thing. So when you have them all opened up, it lets in a ton of natural light. We'll go ahead and leave that open. Nice 32-inch TV here. I don't know if it's a smart TV. I think it is, but it is a 12-volt TV, if you can see up there. So very cool. It's going to run off the battery, no problem. We'll have some USB A and C ports down here, as well as some more 120s, or 110s, I should say. Got a nice little drawer there. We got a little hanging storage closet there. And then we've got 4 kind of cabinet doors running across the top here. All right. It is a queen east to west bed here. So very comfortably sleep 2 here. And then we're going to have more of these cabinet doors underneath. These ones aren't very deep on this side. Just a heads up. And then if we look down here next to the bed, we've got our 110 outlets here, and then more USBs, and then that's going to be the little control module for our 2,000 watt inverter. Let's go ahead and flip around here. So overall, well, actually, let's talk about the fridge real quick before we end the video here. Actually, let's start down low. So this does come standard with a road vac. Really cool. There's a hose attachment that comes with it, or you can just kick that thing there and sweep all the dirt in there. CO2 detector, and then that's going to be our auto detect converter box there. So it will automatically detect what kind of battery you are putting in the unit, whether that be lithium or a traditional lead acid battery. 12-volt refrigerator, massive capacity in this thing. And then we've got our freezer up top. So anyway, guys, that kind of sums it up for this walkthrough. Just wanted to give you a quick look at this new floor plan for 2026. It is very, very cool. I'll list the specs on the screen since I forgot to do that at the beginning of the video. So feel free to pause the video if you're wondering about weights, tank sizes, all that kind of stuff. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.